Hello and welcome. You're watching Newsroom series here on Channels Television. I'm Ayotunde Balogun. Today, our focus is on the Southwest. And of course, we'll be giving you all that stories coming out of that region. But first, let's save you now with our top stories in the course of the day. And we start off from the Federal High Court, where Justice James Omotosho has convicted and sentenced the former acting Accountant General of the Federation, Mr. Nwabuoku, to a 72-year jail term without an option of fine. Delivering judgment, Justice Omotosho held that the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, the EFCC, had been able to prove the 9-count money laundering charge beyond reasonable doubt. According to the judge, the defendant is hereby convicted as charged. Justice Omotosho convicted Mr. Nwabuoku in all the 9 counts and sentenced him to 8 years imprisonment in each of the counts, making 72 years. The judge, however, ordered that the counts shall run concurrently. Justice Omotosho, who described Mr. Nwabuoku's act of diverting funds meant for security and defense while he served as Director of Finance and Accounts in the Ministry of Defense, is appalling, and commended the EFCC for being detailed in its prosecution. The Court of Appeal Abuja Division has set aside the judgment of the National Industrial Court and awarded 10 million naira in costs against the National Pension Commission for unlawful labor practices against 20 aggrieved staff. In a unanimous decision, a 3-member panel led by Justice Bilkisu Aliu, with Justices Donatus Okorowa and Oyebisi Omoleye Oyewumi concurring, held that the workers' appeal was meritorious and ought to be allowed. In the judgment, the appellate court nullified the June 13, 2023 judgment of the lower court, which had dismissed the claims of the workers in their entirety. The dispute arose from the plight of the 20 workers who were issued letters of employment by PENCOM and resumed duty on May 2, 2017, but were neither deployed nor assigned roles and were left without remuneration. The 3-man panel of justices held that the recruitment process, comprising advertisements, interviews and issuance of employment letters duly accepted by the appellants, constituted a valid and binding contract. A community leader in Ozoro Kingdom in Delta State, Berkeley Asiafa, has apologized over an alleged rape incident reported during a recent festival, describing the situation as deeply troubling and unacceptable. Speaking as a guest on the morning brief on Channels Television, Mr. Asiafa called for calm and thorough investigation into the incident.
General of Ozoro Kingdom, let me apologize to Nigerians, and let me also apologize to the families of the affected girls. I want to start by saying Ozoro is a big kingdom, and Ozoro has 5 communities. This particular year, the Alwedo Festival has not been done for some years, but this particular year, the chief priest, saw it necessary, to pray for the women in Oramudu community and also go to their farms to offer prayers to the gods community. They said it was hoodlums. That is not part of their festival. Their festival is for fertility and for peace. It is not a rape festival.
In Ogun, the State Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Oluwashina Ogungbade, has announced that the establishment of the Abeokuta Division of the Court of Appeal is aimed at deepening access to justice and bringing appellate adjudication closer to the people of Ogun State. He stated that a review of the Ministry of Justice showed that a clear majority of appeals currently heard by the Ibadan Division of the Court of Appeal emanate from Ogun State. He noted that the absence of a division within the state has over the years increased the financial burden on litigants and legal practitioners, and in some instances contributed to delays in the resolution of appeals. The Commissioner reaffirmed the commitment of the state government to justice sector reforms that democratize access to justice, strengthen institutions, and ensure efficient delivery of judicial services in the state.
You see, firstly, we have to go back to what we all know and what we all pride ourselves in, and which is that Ogun State is a prime destination for investors. And you see, one of the things that investors look at when they want to come to a location is the ease with which disputes will be resolved. Because when you have business, the volume of which we feel will happen here, it is inevitable that there will be disputes here and there. So when these disputes happen, they should be resolved in quick time. Now there's an appellate process. After the High Court delivers judgment, the matter will go to the Court of Appeal, then from there, perhaps to the Supreme Court. So the experience before now has been that it takes a long time. And as a matter of fact, the reports we have show that a large percentage, perhaps as high as 60–70% of the cases of the appeals that are heard in the Ibadan Division of the Court of Appeal emanate from judgments delivered here in Ogun State. But then they now have to compete with cases which also emanate from Oyo State. So if we have this court here, as we will have, as we are preparing, already laying the groundwork for its takeoff, it will ease justice delivery because the cases will now be determined, appeals will be determined in faster time. And that, of course, will bring about more investor confidence. Then aside from investment, even the populace, the people who have disputes which go to these courts, land matters, matrimonial issues, simple contracts, will have their cases determined in good time. And that, I believe, is one that will have a spiral effect on law and order in Ogun State.
Staying in Ogun, the state government has trained public school administrators as well as public primary and secondary school teachers across the state on how to efficiently navigate the AI-powered Ogun Learning Enhancement and Academic Resource Network Ogun Learn portal. The event, held at the June 12 Cultural Center in Abeokuta, the state capital, is part of ongoing reforms in the state's education sector aimed at ensuring effective impartation of knowledge in the teaching and learning process through the use of artificial intelligence and information and communication technology across the schools. Our State Commissioner for Education, Science and Technology, Professor Abayomi Arigbagbu, during the one-day training, explained that since technology has been introduced in schools, there is need for capacity building for teachers and administrators to open doors to endless possibilities.
I'm not saying government should not provide for us, but I want to challenge you. Apart from waiting for government, wait for government so that we can give you laptops and so on. Then you as an individual, empower yourself. When you get your salary at the end of the month, you spend your salary and you're not thinking on anything you want to spend to develop yourself. I remember in the university, you tell us these 20 papers to get promotion, this art paper, this and that. If you are waiting for the school, the university, to give you an opportunity to go for conference, which is normally the give us. Then by the time you are getting 20 is bad, you give to one person. The next one will say, you are upon once, you give another person. But by the time 20, where you give your money, you know, so therefore you also have some contribution to develop yourself.
The Deputy Governor of Lagos State, Quadri Hamzat, has paid a visit to his alma mater, University of Ibadan, for the retirement and valedictory program for Professor Abimbola Shongodoyin. The Deputy Governor says mentoring remains the most powerful and enduring legacy in academia, fostering trust, open communication, and purposeful goal achievement among students and young professionals. Mr. Hamzat described Professor Shongodoyin as an outstanding scholar who had shaped generations of engineers, academics, and professionals through scholarship and mentorship. And the professor's contributions to scholarship and humanity deserve celebration and appreciation.
There are no professors anywhere in the world that can impart knowledge the way Nigerian professors can. I'm not saying that others don't know how to teach, like people say, they are professors and they are professors. So when you come to the University of Ibadan, it's different. It's just, we are not being biased, it's just different. It's just the best institution in this part of the world. So what has been an enigmatic personality who has molded and mentored many students and others for over 4 decades, both within the University of Ibadan, of course, Nigerian Premier University, and outside this great institution. I'm sure that I bear the best wishes of all those who have had the good fortune of either being mentored by you or have been impacted by the exceptional and humane touch in this citadel of learning. So on behalf of all of us, again, I want to say thank you. Our gathering is to mark the official end of an era, one marked by scholarly excellence, inspirational teaching, and a lifestyle of dedication to the very essence of university education. However, as it has been in those before me, there is no end to the relationship. Our dear celebrants may no longer teach classes in full, but they have left a valuable mark on the path we are studying. His story will be told in the experience of the brilliant and exceptional young minds that he has helped shape. Such is the future so called. So it is to the trajectory of the 40 years that he has spent being a mentor that I now turn my attention. My task is to speak on the topic effective monitoring as a veritable means of sustaining legacy, a case study of Professor Abimbola Ishasu. So my approach to the subject is to start with an understanding of the word mentoring and dimension within the context of the years that Professor Abimbola Ishasu.
Now, in Ondo, the state government has commenced the distribution of relief materials worth over 400 million naira to communities in Ilaje local government area affected by military attacks in October of 2025. The exercise is coordinated by the State Intervention Agency, the Ondo State Oil Producing Areas Development Agency, or SOPADEC.
There's a sense of relief gradually replacing despair in Ilaje local government area of Ondo State as victims of a recent displacement receive support to rebuild their lives. The distribution is being flagged off from Igbokoda, the headquarters of the council area, to residents whose homes were inadvertently destroyed during a security operation by the Navy. It follows appeals by residents of the oil-rich communities who called on the state government for assistance after losing their homes and other property. While the Nigerian Navy maintains that the operation targeted only illegal oil refining and bunkering sites, locals insist their homes were also caught up in the destruction. The Ondo State Oil Producing Areas Development Commission, or SOPADEC, is stepping in with relief materials aimed at cushioning the impacts of the incident.
The motive is to also let them know that they were not forgotten by the government and that the government is concerned about it, even though the governor have expressed his concern that our people should always exercise patience, especially when it has to do with engagement with the military personnel. And not only that, that we should give peace a chance, but at times in the journey of life all over the world, there are bound to be challenges like this. And that's the essence of coming to present these reliefs today.
Items being distributed include outboard engines, fishing boats, mattresses, and food supplies, considered vital for restoring livelihoods in the riverine communities.
I really appreciate Governor Ayedatiwa for his effort to bring us relief materials for our people. I really appreciate him. I really appreciate the chairman of SOPADEC, also the Ilaje Omuru, Worldwide Connect. I really appreciate their effort. I pray that God will continue to bless Ondo State in Jesus' name.
With this intervention, there's renewed hope that affected residents can begin to move past the hardship, rebuilding their lives and livelihoods one step at a time.
We come back after the break on Newsroom Series. FERMA, that's the Federal Roads Maintenance Agency, resumes rehabilitation of roads in Okeogun axis in Oyo State. Join us again. Welcome back. Motorists and commuters in the Okeogun axis of Oyo State can now heave a sigh of relief as some of the bad roads within the area now get attention of the federal government as rehabilitation of the bad roads intensify. Now, the Federal Road Maintenance Agency, FEMA, commenced the rehabilitation of roads in Okeogun area to ease the burden of road crashes, poor transportation modes for farm produce, and other effects caused by the deplorable state of roads in the agrarian zone of the state. Now, the rehabilitation works cover Kishi, Aguare, and parts of Shaki, all within the Okeogun zone.
Okeogun zone of Oyo State is the food basket of the state, as it is the area with the most agrarian settlements across the state. This accounts for the critical role played in this zone in the state's economy, as more than 60% of food crops consumed within the state and beyond come from this area. This informs the recent heavy investment on the roads within that axis to transport farm produce to city centers within Oyo State and neighboring states. Some of the roads, however, have been in deplorable state for some time, and rehabilitation work, especially on federal roads, was halted because of security concerns in the area. Now, work has resumed and about 2 kilometers of the road has been fixed between Kishi, Agoare, and Shaki areas of Okeogun.
I'm satisfied with the level of work done so far, and it's part of the effort of the FEMA, the management, to actually deliver a mandate of making all roads motorable. This is Aguare to Shaki Road, and we have decided to intervene here because of the sectional failures, and motorists have actually been happy about it. So we have intervened on this project, and we have another project that is between Ogumosho and Ibeti, which we're waiting for the contractors to report and commence work. But as you can see, this project is almost completed, and I want to commend the Oyo State FRME and his team for a job well done.
The project, which is being carried out through direct labor, is very crucial as some of the roads being rehabilitated were roads constructed between 1979 to 1980, which have not been adequately maintained by the users.
The major problem we have in Nigeria is not the problem of government per se. It's a problem of our culture. Maintenance is one of the things that we are lacking. In anything that we do, until we come back to that basis in ensuring that all these items are being attended to at the appropriate time, things we get on will not keep better. It's not only on road alone, even in infrastructures, structures, building our offices and all the rest. The major challenges we have here was an issue with the washouts. We never envisaged it before. But while we are doing the site clearing, we noticed that a section of that road has been washed out, which we are currently attending to. But we have started the asphalting work right from the rear, from the starting point at kilometer 268, and we are moving in Shaki.
The rehabilitation, according to some of the road users, will minimize the reported carnage on the road and reduce the cost of transporting farm produce to various markets in the area and beyond.
We appreciate we appreciate the government for this wonderful project, for giving us this opportunity, that because before your intervention, this road is nothing to write home about. But today is feasible to the blind that the federal government has assisted us in rehabilitating the road and making it a motorable one once again. We pray.
Well, we're having a series of the problem, bad road before Soro Tande, and after Soro as well. But we even prefer that place than this place. So we are using this million toward the federal government, if they can even come to our rescue over there, because there is a lot of atrocity that is being committed, you understand, through the bad road in that place. So that's just it.
The rehabilitated Aguare axis spans from Isenyi with a total of about 306 kilometers of the road, and the section repaired is about 268 kilometers, with approximately 2 kilometers of rehabilitation work done. FERMA notes that one of the major constraints is funding, and efforts are underway to ensure that the House of Representatives and the Senate Committee on FERMA work on how to increase the allocation given to FERMA.
Staying in Oyo, efforts intensify across the state to galvanize support for President Bola Tinubu's re-election in all the 33 local government areas. The latest move in this quest is coming from the lawmaker representing Egbeda on our federal constituency, Akin Labi, as he called the Nigerians not to panic, expressing optimism that the country's micro and macroeconomic conditions will soon improve as a result of the reforms being implemented by the president. The lawmaker made this known at the inauguration of a support group for President Tinubu in Ibadan, the Oyo state capital. According to him, formation of the group became necessary because of the need for serious grassroots mobilization by political players to ensure success at the polls.
We are raising 20,000 people, 20,000 voters that have voters card, that will work assiduously for the re-election of President Tinubu in 2027. When we opened registration for this group, I was pleasantly surprised with the number of interest. I had no doubt in my mind, there are a lot of people willing to support the president, willing to vote for the president, but willing to work hard for the president without collecting 1 naira. It shows the commitment to return Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu to power in 2027.
Let me make something very clear to us. This movement is open to everybody. It does not matter your political party. It does not matter your background. As long as you are a friend, an admirer, or a follower of Honorable Akin Labi, as long as you believe in the leadership, ambition of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, you are welcome. Because at the end of the day, we all share a common goal to move our communities forward, a common goal to strengthen leadership at the grassroots, and a common goal to support re-election of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 2027.
Here in Lagos, the Progressive Governors Forum drew significant political attention to their high-stake meeting in Victoria Island. The gathering, made up of governors elected on the platform of the All Progressives Congress, signals a crucial moment for deliberations within the party. The 23 governors and 2 deputy governors attended the meeting alongside the party's national chairman, underscoring the importance of the event.
Well, it's a meeting that we took advantage of our visit to Lagos to celebrate Salah with Mr. President in solidarity and the support of his victorious visit to England. And the progressive governors used this opportunity to review the outcome of our party congresses at the ward, local government, and state levels, and the upcoming convention at the end of this week in Abuja. And they also commended our party leadership for a successful congresses at the subnational level, and also use that to also thank Mr. President for the commitment he has shown in tackling the stubborn insecurity situation across the country. And we're committed to joining forces with him at the subnational level to ensure that the entire country is protected and secured. So also use the opportunity to discuss the situation in the Middle East, which is capable of igniting inflection in the country. and also committed to working with the federal government to working out palliative measures that will alleviate the consequences of the infliction if it occurs. I think that is about that, and we are happy and excited that by the end of the week we will be doing our convention in Abuja, where we will elect national officers of our party that will take us into the 2027 elections. We are not rezoning. The offices are already zoned. The president is still in office. The vice president is still in office. It goes without saying that under the Balancing Act, that the positions will still remain where they are.
And with that, we draw the curtain on Newsroom series with our focus on the Southwest region. Many thanks for watching. I'm Ayotunde Balogun.